Hello students, welcome to the EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Anurodh Godha from School of Commerce and Management, Vardhaman Mahavir Open University, Kota. Today we are going to talk on module Job Design from paper Human Resource Management. So students, let's see what we are going to learn in this module. In this module, we are going to understand the job design and its basic principles. What are the principles which are guide to design the job? The next, we will learn and we will identify the major methods of job design like job rotation, job simplification, job enrichment and job enlargement. We will learn the importance of job simplification and job rotations. We will also know in this module about the various techniques of job enrichment, which brings quality of life. The next thing which we will learn will be various factors affecting the job design. And we will also able to distinguish between job enlargement and job enrichment. Students, first we come to job analysis. We have learned about this. It is a process of studying, collecting information and identifying job description and job specification. In the previous module, we have learned about this. Now, what is job design? Job design follows job analysis, means it is the activity after job design. It is the next step after job analysis. Job design means to decide the content of a job. It fixes the duties and responsibilities. It organizes tasks for the job. Job design also outlines the methods and relationship between the job seeker, means the manager, his supervisors, subordinates, colleagues, etc. In other way, job design essentially involves integrating job responsibilities, or we can say job content, and certain qualification, means it is integrating of job description and job specification. It is also integrating the rewards. Rewards may be financial rewards or it may be non-financial rewards for doing the job. Job design helps in attracting the right candidate to the right job, because we are designing a job in the right way. We are making filters on the thing that what are the qualification must be there in the desired or potential candidates. If the jobs are designed properly, then it will be help in recruiting highly efficient human capital. Highly efficient human capital are like assets for the organization. It will contribute in quality of work life. If highly efficient and effective work environment and people will be there, then definitely they will contribute to quality of work life. And the result of this is it increase the morale, efficiency, profitability and productivity of the organization. Students, if the jobs are designed in a wrong manner, then it is very dangerous. It can create absenteeism. It will lead to high labor turnover. There will be boredom in the employees, and all this will lead to dissatisfaction. And again, it will also lead towards various conflicts and labor problems. Now, we will come to define job design. Michael Armstrong has defined job design as the process of deciding. The process of deciding what? The content of a job. Content of a job in terms of duties and responsibilities to be played by the employee. The methods to be used in carrying out the job in terms of the techniques, systems and procedures which the prospective employee will follow. And the third, the relationship that should exist between the job holder and his superiors, subordinate and colleagues. He is talking about three things: the content, now the content, methods to be used and the relationship. The next definition, which is given by Milkovich, he says that job design integrates work content. The same thing. Work content means the task, duties, functions, and the relationship between the employees. And the rewards. Rewards may be extrinsic and intrinsic, maybe explicit, maybe implicit, maybe in monetary terms, maybe in reward terms. And the qualification required. Qualification means skills, abilities, and knowledge. So it integrates three things: job contents, the rewards, and the qualification required for each job in a way that meets the need of employee and the organization. Means it meets the need of employee and the organization. So we can say it is a match between job requirements and human attributes. Students, after learning the job design and its definition, now we are going towards the section Principles of Job Design. Principles are the basis of the approach used in the job design. Robertson and Smith have suggested 5 principles of job design. To influence skill variety, we must provide opportunity to do several tasks and we must combine the task. To influence task identity of the employee, we must combine the task and form natural work units. To influence task significance, we must inform people the importance of their work. To influence autonomy, give people responsibility to decide their own working system. And the last principle, to influence feedback, we have to establish good relationship amongst the supervisor, subordinates and colleagues, and establish open feedback challenges. Students, now we are coming to very important part of this lecture, that is methods of job design. There are 4 types of methods. The first is job simplification, then job rotation, job enlargement, and job enrichment. We will learn these methods in depth. The first method is job simplification. What is job simplification? In this, the complete job is broken down into small subparts. Employees can do these jobs without much specialized training, as the jobs are broken down into small parts. Small operations of the job can be performed simultaneously so that the complete operation can be done more quickly. Students, for job simplification, generally time and motion studies are used. The next method which we will learn is job rotation. Job rotation is periodically assigning employees to alternating jobs or tasks. Let's have an example of automobile workshop. An employee in the workshop may spend 2 weeks attaching bumper to vehicles and the following 2 weeks making final checks of the chassis. During the next month, the same employee may be assigned to do different jobs. Therefore, the employee would be rotating amongst the 4 jobs. It is good method, but the depth of the job does not change. Job cycle of the actual daily work performed has not been lengthened. Employees are simply assigned to different jobs with different cycles. The advantage of job rotation is that employees do not have the same routine job day after day. They are changed on the different jobs. Job rotation is often effectively used as a training technique for new and inexperienced employees so that they can learn all the workflow. At higher organizational levels, rotation also helps to develop managerial journalists because it exposes them to several different operations. Students, job simplification, then we have learned job rotation, and in rotation there are a lot of advantages which really helps the organization in solving a lot of problems. The first is it is coping with frequent absenteeism and high turnover. How? It means that because the employee is given a chance to work at every place, like 15 days for this place, 1 month for that place. So he is aware and he is updated about all the skills required to perform the work. So in case of any frequent absenteeism or high turnover, then that employee which is been rotated will be used. Employee can perform a variety of tasks to meet the contingency, and he will be a flexible employee. You can use anywhere him. Then the employee experiences variety of work. He experiences a variety of work. He is placed on a number of tasks. So he experienced a lot of workplaces, a lot of peer groups. He learned a lot. He updates the culture. The third advantage is it increases the knowledge and skill of an employee. And definitely, if the skill and knowledge of the employee is increasing, then this will definitely leads towards the career development. It relieves the employee from the boredom. Definitely, employees feel bored if they are given the same task again and again. In job rotation, the employee is given the task for 15 days or 1 month, and he will be rotated amongst the task. So he do not feel boredom, and the monotony of doing the same work will be reduced. And it improves the self-image and personal worth. The employee is aware about that if he is going at a number of workplaces, then he is learning. He is learning means he is creating the self-image, and it is a personal worth of the employee. At the same time, there are a lot of disadvantages. A number of people says, a number of critics says that it is nothing more than having an employee performing several boring jobs rather than one, because you are putting that employee for one process for some day, then you are changing him to the next process for, let's say, 1 month, then on the next process. At the end of the day, he is performing the job repetitively, means he is performing several boring jobs rather than one. Then the next disadvantage is it creates disruptions amongst member of the work group due to new employee. If an employee is transferred to the various jobs, is awarded or given a task to work at different places, then definitely this will create a disruption among the members of other peer groups. We can say that it is turning specialist into journalist. If an employee is a specialist and you are asking him to do n number of work, then definitely he will be turned from specialist to the journalist. It is also a demotivating factor. It is also demotivate intelligence and ambitious trainee. If the trainee is ambitious, then it is a demotivating thing. Then the next, it involves a high training cost. He is given a number of places to work. So the training cost will be high, accidents will be high. So he will learn, and in the learning process he might do a number of mistakes. So it is a high training cost. More time consuming for supervisor. Definitely at a number of places the employee will go and he will ask the question. The most of the time the supervisor will answer the queries, and most of the time he will spend the time on monitoring that what he is doing, whether he is learning or not. The third method is job enlargement. Another mean of increasing employee satisfaction with routine jobs is job enlargement, or increasing the number of tasks to be performed, means increasing the scope of job. Job enlargement, like job rotation, tries to eliminate short job cycles that create boredom to the employees. Unlike job rotation, job enlargement actually increases the job cycle. When a job is enlarged, either the tasks being performed are enlarged or several short tasks are given to one worker. Thus, the scope of the job is increased because there are many tasks to be performed by the same worker. Job enlargement program change many methods of operation in contrast to job rotation, in which the same work procedures are used by worker who rotate through workstations. Although job enlargement actually changes the pace of the work and the operation by reallocating tasks and responsibilities, but it does not increase the depth of a job. The focus of designing work for job enlargement is the exact opposite of that of job specialization. Instead of designing jobs to be divided up into the fewest of tasks per employee, an employee is designed to have many tasks for the employee to perform. Enlargement is done only on the horizontal basis. Thus, the job remains the same, but becomes of a larger scale than before. In the words of George and L.R. Sellis, job enlargement implies that instead of assigning one man to each job, a group of men can be assigned to a group of jobs and then allowed to decide for themselves how to organize the work. Students, there are a lot of job enlargement advantages, like it increase in diversity of jobs. Like in job rotation, he was given a number of jobs with some days or 15 days, 10 days, 1 month. But in enlargement, the job cycle, the depth of job is increased. So it is increase in diversity of jobs. It leads to the job satisfaction. He feels job satisfied because he feels less boredom. It provides wholeness. The employee develop the skills, abilities, and the other things, the culture. So he feel wholeness. It increase the knowledge and variety of skills in the employee. Definitely, it increase the knowledge and variety of skills. It reduces tension and boredom. The tension and boredom, due to the depth of job cycle, the tension and boredom goes down. The next is, it trains and develops more versatile employee. The outcome is a versatile and trained employee. The last method of job design is job enrichment. The concept of job enrichment has been derived from Hertzberg's two-factor theory of motivation, in which he has suggested that job content itself is one of the basic factors of motivation. If the job is designed in such a manner that it becomes more interesting and challenging to the job performer and provides opportunities for achievement, recognition, responsibility, advancement and growth, then the job itself becomes a source of motivation to the employee. One more definition, according to Richard, job enrichment is a motivational technique which emphasizes the need for challenging and interesting work. It suggests that jobs be redesigned so that intrinsic satisfaction is derived from doing the job. In its best applications, it leads to a vertical enhanced job by adding functions from other organizational levels, making it content more variety and challenges and offer autonomy and pride to the employee. According to P. Robbins, job enrichment refers to the vertical expansion of the jobs. It increases the degree to which the worker controls the planning, execution, and evaluation of the work. One small definition given by Rebert: job enrichment, sometimes called vertical job leading, is a job redesigning strategy that focuses on the depth of the job. According to Mondi and Filippo, job enrichment refers to basic changes in the content and level of responsibility of a job, so to provide for the satisfaction of the motivation need of the personnel. As suggested by Robert Ford, there are some job enrichment bases, like for the task, assign specific or specialized tasks to individual, enabling them to become expert. The motivating involved in this responsibility, growth and advancement. Tasks like making periodic reports directly available to the individual himself rather than to the supervisor. The motivating factor will be internal recognition. Tasks like giving a person a whole natural unit of work, module, exchange district, division, area. This will increase the responsibility, achievement and recognition. So both these factors will be the motivating factors. The next task like increasing the accountability of individuals for own work. This will also increase responsibility and recognition in the employees. After going through the job enrichment basis, now we are here to know the techniques of job enrichment. The first technique is, we can say the first way to enrich the job is providing freedom in decisions. Means the employees will feel like they are free to take the decisions. At the same time, they must feel that they must do the work with responsibility. Assign a natural work unit to an employee. Natural work unit means the work must be compatible to the employee's choice. The next way may be encouraging participation. The employee must be encouraged to participate with the supervisors, colleagues and subordinates. Allow the employees to set his own standard of performance. Here, the autonomy and freedom is given to the employee. He is allowed to set his own set of performance, and then he will be checked by himself against those standards. The next way or technique of job enrichment is minimize the control to provide freedom to the employees. Here, the freedom is playing a major role with the minimum control on the employees. The next technique is make an employee directly responsible for his performance. If he is allowed to set his own set of standard of performance, then the employee will be directly responsible or feel directly responsible for his or her own performance. The next technique is encourage participation of employees in deciding organizational goals and policies. Means if the employee will be asked to decide his or her own goals, then definitely he will able to accomplish those goals according to his desires. The next is introducing new difficult and creative tasks to the employees. Sometimes employees like to do creative tasks in place of routine tasks. And the final technique is providing the sense of achievement. Students, there are a lot of advantages of job enrichment. Like it enriches the role may be played by the employees. It provides a meaningful learning to employees due to the vertical expansion. It provides a meaningful learning to the employees. It makes the work interesting and employee gets motivated. It helps in reducing the rate of labor turnover and absenteeism. Definitely, it increases skills, morale and performance. And job enrichment also reduces boredom and dissatisfaction. It also increases in output both in the terms of qualitative and quantitative. Students, there are some disadvantages also, like it increases the cost because the training cost will be high, the employee will be given rights, he will be able to decide his own work performance or feedback system, so the cost will increase. It needs more employee counseling, training and guidance. The counseling part will increase, the training and guidance would be more needing. It is not applicable to all jobs. We cannot say that at every job or to every employee we can say that we should go for job enrichment. So it is not applicable to all jobs. Negative impact on personnel. Sometimes it put negative impacts also. And we cannot impose on people. It is good. It is a good practice. It is a good technique. But we cannot impose on people. And sometimes it is also objected by unions that you are taking so much work and what you are rewarding to us. So it leads towards paid dissatisfaction also. Students, there will be a question in your mind that what is the difference between job enlargement and job enrichment? We can classify the difference on 4 bases. Actually, job enlargement and job enrichment are both important forms of job design in order to enhance productivity and satisfaction of the employees. On the following basis, we can classify or we can differentiate between both. The first is nature of work. The major difference between job enrichment and enlargement lies in the nature of addition to the job. Enlargement involves a horizontal loading or expansion or addition of tasks of the same nature. At the same time, enrichment involves vertical loading of tasks and responsibilities of the job holders. It improves the quality of jobs in terms of intrinsic worth of the job. The next difference or the next basis of difference may be purpose. The purpose of job enlargement is to reduce the monotony in performing repetitive jobs by lengthening the cycle of operations. On the other hand, the purpose of job enrichment is making the job lively, challenging, and satisfying. Job enrichment satisfies the higher level needs such as ego satisfaction of employees, self-expressions, sense of achievement, and advancement of job holders. The third classification or differentiation base may be skill requirement. Job enlargement may be necessarily require the use of additional skills which the job holder was using in performing the job before the enlargement. This is due to the similarity of additional tasks. Enrichment calls for development and utilization of higher skills, initiatives and innovations on the part of the job holder in performing the job. The next basis is direction and control. Job enlargement requires direction and controls from external forces, say like supervisor or the top management. In fact, the job holder may require more direction and control because of enlargement of his responsibility. Enrichment doesn't require external direction or control, as these direction and control come from the job holder itself. He requires only feedback from his supervisor. Students, now we will learn factors which affects the job designs. Before going to the factors, we can repeat that a well-defined job will make the job interesting and satisfying for the employees. And if the employee will be satisfied and he keep interest in the job, then it results in increasing performance and productivity. If a job fails to appear interesting and leads to employee dissatisfaction towards the job, then it means that job must be redesigned based upon the feedback from the employees. What are the factors which affect job design? We can classify those factors into four things. The first quadrant may be environmental factor. We can say organizational factor, then behavioral factor and other factors. The first is factors related to organization. We can consider the following factors under this. First, nature of work. A job contains various elements and job design is required to classify various tasks into a job. The various tasks may be planning, monitoring, executing, controlling, etc. And all these are to be taken into consideration while we design a job. The second factor related to organization may be workplace culture. Work culture of an organization determines the way tasks are carried out at the workplace. Work practices are methods or standards laid out for carrying out a certain task in a specific way. These practices often affect the job design, especially when the practices are not aligned to the interest of the worker or the union. The third factor related to organization may be workflow. Products and service type often determines the sequence of workflow. A good job design ensures the balance between various product and service processes. The fourth factor related to organization, which is very important, that is ergonomics. Ergonomics aims at designing jobs in such a way that the physical abilities and individual traits of human resources are taken into consideration to ensure productivity and efficiency. The second quadrant, which is related to environment, has two types of factors, both internal as well as external environmental factors affecting the job design to a great extent. These two factors may be, first, employee skills, abilities and time of availability. Employee skills, abilities and time of availability plays a crucial role in job design. The above economic and mentioned factors are taken into consideration for employees who are actually performing the job. Designing a job more than the abilities or designing the job more than the skill set will lead to decreased productivity and decreased employee satisfaction. The second factor related to environment is cultural and social expectations. In place of process-centered, the jobs are nowadays becoming more and more employee-centered. They are therefore designed in keeping the employees in central place. In addition, the literacy level among the employees and lifestyle is also on the right side. They now demand jobs that are their liking and according to their competency so that they can perform their best. The third factor, which is related to behavior, the behavior factors. Behavioral factors are those that pertain to the human needs and that need to be satisfied for ensuring productivity at workplace. They include the first, autonomy. There are four things: autonomy, diversity, feedback, and use of skills and abilities. The first is autonomy. Employees need autonomy and they want to work in an open environment rather than contains fear or unnecessary pressure. Autonomy promotes creativity, innovation, independence, and also lead to increased efficiency and productivity, which will ultimately lead towards the organizational goals. The next is diversity. A job should carry sufficient diversity and variety so that it remains as interesting with every passing day. Repetitive jobs often make work monotonous, which leads to boredom. Job variety, diversity should be given due importance while designing a job. The third is feedback. Feedback should be an integral part of work. It must be taken in a positive manner. Each employee should receive proper feedback about his or her work performance, and the employees must take it in a positive sense because it will also add value to their work. The fourth is use of skills and abilities. Jobs should be designed in a manner that an employee is able to make full use of his or her abilities and he can perform the job effectively. And the fourth quadrant, which is related to other factors. There are other factors like proper scope of job. There must be a proper scope of job and it plays a major factor in affecting job design. The next is full-time challenge of the job. The job must be full-time challenge. The next factor is managerial skills. Then organization's requirement. This will also affect the job design. According to the requirements of the organization, we design the jobs. Individual likes and dislikes. Sometimes individuals' likes and dislikes also play a role in designing a job. And the organizational structure, where the relationship of various employees exist. The functional differentiation and organizational structure also affect in designing a job. Then the use of technology is also a factor which affect the job design. So students, let's now summarize what we have learnt in this module. The job design is an attempt to create a match between requirement of job and the attributes of that job. It is an attempt to match the both things. Now, job rotation, one of the technique, implies transfer to a job of same level and status. Means the employee is transferred to various jobs of the same level and status. Job simplification enables the employee to do without much specialized training. The job is divided into various subparts, so it do not need some specialized training. Job enlargement is the process of increasing the scope of job of a particular by adding more tasks to it. And job enrichment at the same time implies increasing the content of a job and the deliberate upgrading of responsibility scope and challenges in work. Job enlargement and job enrichment are both important forms of job design in order to enhance the productivity and satisfaction of the job holder. Various factors that affected a job design may be classified under three heads. We have already gone through those things. Factors related to organization, work culture, workflow, nature of work. Factors related to environment, social and cultural environment, skill and other things. And the factors related to behavior, how they perceive the job and all these things. Students, thank you so much for learning so patiently.